What's up? This is Robert Ory, and you're watching People Making Progress.
So you want to sing it?
All right, let's introduce real quick. First of all, what's your name?
My name is Tin.
Tan, do you have a Instagram that you want to shout
nothing.
out? No Instagram? Or are you going to get one?
No, I go solo.
What do you got here?
Let's see. Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Michael Cooper, Byron Scott, Michael Thompson, Byron Scott. I have everyone that I'm going to get. Robert Ory right now. This is my 80s balls.
Big Shot Rob.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So how long did it take you to get all those autographs?
Maybe a few years.
Few years. What's the ultimate goal? How many do you want to get?
I want to get AC Green.
Okay.
And we have current members, one white man.
Okay, that's it.
That's all.
All right, thank you for the interview. We
Okay,
appreciate you.
you're welcome.
What's your name?
My name is Hector.
Hector, you have an Instagram you want to shout out?
No, I don't know.
No? All right, cool. What do you got here that you want to get signed today?
I got the flag right here. I got a couple signatures from other Lakers stars. I get a Horry right here on the top.
Okay. You a big
Hopefully
fan?
big fan. So hopefully I get everything filled out. And then now I got Shaq, maybe some other famous stars.
Okay, cool.
We'll see if it happens.
Man. I'm glad you're here. Thank you. Thank you for coming out.
Yeah.
What's your name, bro?
Gabriel.
Gabriel?
Yeah.
Do you have an Instagram you want to shout out?
Yeah, GS the Genius.
GS the Genius.
Yep.
Follow Gabriel.
Got the from when he took that shot, the shot,
Okay.
the 0-2 finals. It's the jersey. About to
So
get signed.
this is from that time period when you took a shot?
Yep. This even got the 2001, 2002.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
And is this for your personal collection?
Yeah. I'm hang it up. I'm not selling it.
You hang it up and cherish it?
Yep.
That's cool, man. Thank you guys for coming out. Appreciate you guys. Sports Cards, and we just got done with a successful signing by Mr. Big Shot Robert Ory, 7-time NBA champion, and now we're here with Kiet, partner in LA Sports Cards, and we're just gonna sit here and ask a few questions. So one thing that I always talk about is overcoming fear. I think a lot of people are paralyzed because they're afraid to fail, or they're afraid to disappoint themselves, or maybe a family member, or maybe afraid to lose money. Were there any fears that you guys had to overcome personally or even as a team?
My fear is to not do anything, because if you don't do anything, you're guaranteed to fail.
Right.
And so going at it is just a learning process, and you're gonna make mistakes, and you have to love that process. You have to know that through making mistakes, you're gonna get better.
Yeah.
It depends on your mentality. If you're the type to kind of like, oh, that's a big mistake, and it kind of holds you back, then maybe that's not as good as if you're like attacking, and then with the idea of, okay, I'm gonna be successful on some things, I'm gonna mess up on others, but I know on the things that I'm gonna learn from, I'm gonna be better for it. My entire team thinks that way. We're all gonna grow together, pick each other up, and just fight for each other.
Right.
Like when you go to war, you sacrifice. When you fight, it's like that. It's like a marriage.
Right.
You sacrifice.
It's work.
It's like brothers.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. It's like we're all brothers.
Right.
So we fight for each other.
So if there's one thing you can tell, there's a couple individuals watching, or one individual sitting at home watching, what would that one piece of advice that you would give that person if they're just thinking about doing something? What would that one piece of advice be?
Plan. Be aggressive. Fortune favors the bold. And not saying just reckless. Go in it with a plan, with contingencies,
Right.
and go at it with perhaps people that can give you guidance and advice along the way.
Right.
Really strategize, really plan it out. Test your strategies, test your plan. You can't think that this is my idea and I'm gonna be right. You have to have the mindset that this is my idea and I could be wrong. And once you realize that potentially I'm wrong, then at least put those feelers out there in the market. The market will tell you what's right, what's wrong.
Yeah. I would also say don't be afraid to ask for help. Because there's plenty of successful people that have already been through it, have tested the waters, have had failures and learned from them, that are more than happy to help you out. Even if it's just, you know, if it's a piece of advice or, you know, guide you in the right direction or maybe pull you back and maybe prevent you from making a mistake. But I think people are just afraid to ask for advice sometimes. So you've had some mentors. Elvis, one of your partners, has mentored you in this memorabilia game, the card game. So can you speak to your relationship with Elvis, how you guys met? And how
Oh
it
yeah,
evolved?
that was great. Met through my brother-in-law. We started trading cards, making deals in the card game.
Right.
And then from there, we saw each other's character. What you really want to do, in my opinion, is to surround yourself with not only like-minded individuals, but individuals that you can really trust, that you want them to succeed,
Right.
and they want you to succeed. It's not a me, me, me thing. It's a let's go, let's grow, let's crush it. That's the key. Whoever you let in your circle, I mean, the old saying goes, and I think it's relatively true, you are the average of the 5 people you interact with the most.
Right.
And so to be selective with that circle, I think is key, it's integral. You don't want to have somebody in that circle that kind of like pulls you down, drags you down. You want people in that circle that you can elevate your game into, and they'll pull you up with them.
Right.
And then some strengths and some weaknesses, all weaknesses are going to be nurtured to become strengths.
Right.
And then that whole positive feedback loop is a beautiful thing once it gets going.
Can you speak to the persistence that's required for success? Not only overcoming a certain obstacle, but like that continual drive to persist at one thing until you reach that success. Can you talk about that?
You got to really go get it. You have to have that grit.
Right.
You have to have that absolute obsession to want to be the best at everything you do.
Right.
And of course, it's not for yourself. It's for your brothers.
Right.
It's for your business partners. You want to be the best, which makes them want to be their best for you. And sure, there's a lot of times when there's struggles and there's challenges and there's pressure. But like Latrell Sprewell said, you make love to pressure. You gotta get it. another expression, man, you gotta push it until it hurts.
Right.
That's when you know it's right. It's supposed to feel this way, and you just have to push through it.
Right.
It's just like working out, right? You get messed up, you get sore, but you gotta really push through it. You gotta go to really grow.
Right.
So it's all about that hustle. It's all about that push. It's all about that pressure.
Right.
It's all about that I want more. You have to be obsessed with wanting more out of you and wanting more out of everybody that's around you.
Right.
And
So what drives your passion for that success?
I think it's just fun to want to challenge yourself to be better. Like a little kid playing video games, you just want to win.
You want to beat that game. You want to hit
Yeah.
that last level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, you know, what's life but a very fun game?
Right.
And what's better than to enjoy it with your bros?
Right.
And what's better than to absolutely crush it?
Right.
And to crush it in the right way.
So when you say not in the right way, you mean like not bringing harm to anybody, being ethical,
Right.
you know, having, you know, good business practices, not trying to cheat anyone or cheat the system. You're being humble. You're
Right.
being pure and true
Exactly.
to yourself, to your partners, to your family.
Right.
And you can still achieve success
Exactly.
through that route.
In my mind, it doesn't make sense to have enemies. It makes all the sense to collaborate. To me, it's much less of competition. It's more about collaboration. Because, you know, in basic economics, perfect competition means you compete away all the profit. And at that equilibrium point, everybody makes the same. Why? You don't want that. You want to dominate, you want to crush, and you want to do it in the right way where your profits are all still there. So collaborate. Work together and you'll get to the higher points.
So when you talk about collaborating, you're talking about collaborating with other businesses, collaborating with internally or externally, like, or both.
Both, whatever necessary.
Right.
Just trying to be as good as we can to everybody. So many people helped us along the way. We would love to help others if we have the chance to
Right.
along the way too. It's just, you know, paying it forward.
Yeah.
Whether it happens to us or happens to somebody else. I believe in that positive feedback loop.
Right.
And everything
So
happens.
if anyone viewing is thinking about getting into the business, would you guys be willing to shoot up some DMs and answer some questions, maybe point them in the right direction?
Yeah, for sure. Hit us up, LA Sports Cards. LA Sports Cards with an underscore on IG. That's right. Yeah, hit us up. We'll be happy
Cool.
to chat.
Well, I appreciate your time, man. And is there any closing messages that you want to relay to people thinking about opening up a business? Doesn't have to be sports cards or memorabilia, but just any kind of business. Any thoughts on how to maybe get them across that line?
I say go for it. Try to grab a large share of a small market. And then once you really have that, then you can expand. It's very difficult to grab a big market as a beginner. Much easier to try to grab a big piece of a small market.
Right.
And then of course, having the right mentors, having the right partners, that whole like sphere of influence, the whole inner circle, that
Right.
trusting, and just wanting to fight for essentially your brothers.
Right.
I mean, the old saying goes, you don't want to do business with friends and family. I mean, for good reason. There's a lot of wisdom behind that.
Right.
But it can succeed, in my opinion, if you have the best interests of your friends and family at heart, and vice versa.
It's gotta be pure. It's gotta be
It has
love.
to be for you. Want to sacrifice for them, and they have to want to sacrifice for you.
Right.
In that circumstance, I believe it'll work.
Yeah, man. So there's one thing that I like to remind people of, and it's that, in my opinion, and I get this from Think and Grow Rich, it only takes 3 things to be successful. Number 1 is desire. Number 2 is the ability to follow a plan. And number 3 is persistence. I've heard it many times. It's simple, but it's not easy.
Right.
So I think,
100%.
yeah. So, you know, the steps are there, guys. If you have the desire, I say go do it. Kid says go do it. Kid's doing it. I'm doing it. You can do it too. I appreciate your time, bro. All right, bro.
All right, Louis. Appreciate you, brother.
Cool, man.
A lot of people like to hug the gems, HB, keep them in their purse. Louis spread it out on the table and said, pick one. I ain't mad at Louis. And the church say, amen, citizens.